On this episode of Ask Ironborough, we talk about what is CrossFit, CrossFit workout intensity, recovery, some strange fruit or vegetable from Mars, and squats. Audio sync. All right. All right, guys, welcome back. This is episode 3 of Ask Ironborough. We're back again. We got lots of questions from you guys. We love it. Keep them coming. We're going to answer some questions today. I'm Chip Hartford, owner and coach of CrossFit Ironborough, and as always, I'm joined by the lovely Ashley Owens.
Hello.
We are back here today to answer some more questions, and we are going to start it off right now.
So the first question we have is from Jim McKenzie. A friend of mine from my old job. He is asking a very simple question, but very important question. What is CrossFit?
It's a good question. The most, I guess, advanced definition of CrossFit would be constantly varied, high-intensity, functional movement over broad modal domains. Now, that may sound like Greek to you. What that essentially means is training functional movements for the unknown and unknowable. And to break that down even more, what we talk about is any task that I can throw at you, you can complete. So if I say to you, I want you to go out and do a 200-meter farmer's carry with 50 pounds in each hand, you're going to come in, do 3 rope climbs, and then you're going to run a mile. You should be able to complete those tasks in a relatively manageable amount of time.
Right.
The most important thing is functional movement, right? So a lot of people spend time specializing in one task. So they may run a lot, and they may bike a lot, and they may swim a lot, and they may be training for a triathlon. Now, those are great things, and any exercise is better than no exercise, I always say. But the problem here is that you'll get really, really good at running, but how much can you deadlift? You may get really good at swimming, but how many rope climbs can you complete?
Right.
You may get really good at triathlons, but say you're ever in a situation you need to run from the police, are you going to be able to jump that fence and get away from them?
Or a zombie apocalypse.
Zombie apocalypse, right?
Either or. You gotta know how to run.
So what we actually do is we train in a way where we complete work that makes us an all-around athlete. We may not necessarily specialize in one thing, but we're going to be really good at a lot of things.
Right.
Any task that we're ever asked to complete. So again, like I said, we can go ahead and row 500 meters, and then I may have to clean 300 pounds.
Right.
Cool, let's do it. Like that won't be an intimidating thing. I can still run, I can still bike, I can still swim, and also the great advantage is it actually makes you better at other tasks you may do in real life.
Yep.
Carrying groceries from the store, you can probably get them all in one trip now if you do a lot of farmers carries. I always...
a box on a shelf?
Absolutely. I always talk about, my favorite example is if you have a cat and you're bringing home 100 pounds of kitty litter, you can pick that kitty litter up off the ground and actually carry it into your house. So these are things that that really are benefits from CrossFit. And being better in life is the most important thing, and that's what we really train for.
It's also a cult, but that's further from the truth.
There's no scientific proof that it's a cult.
We'll see. Question number two, Nate Bobenchek asks, should I go heavier on a workout and be slower, or should I go lighter and be faster?
So there's a couple different things that we think about when we program the workouts. One is the time domain. 2 is the energy system that we're trying to train. So there's going to be a time limitation on some of the workouts, like AMRAP 7. Like you have a 7-minute time window to do this workout in. And then the weight for that is going to kind of depend on what energy system we're trying to train in that 7 minutes. So for example, there's a huge difference between a 7-minute AMRAP of clean and jerks at 80% of your 1 rep max and a 7-minute AMRAP of 10 toes to bar, 5 handstand push-ups, and 15 air squats. Both time domains are exactly the same, but the energy system that you're training is different. So some is more strength-based, some is more cardio-based, and some are in the middle, and you have that sweet spot of something like grace where it's not heavy, it's not light, but it just kind of sucks. So ask your coach what the stimulus that we're going for is, and that's really why we put the RX weights on there, so you know if it's supposed to be heavy, slow, grinding, or like heavy, slow, and like just heavy and slow, or if it's supposed to be moderate weight, grinding, bad stuff that you don't want to do, or light and fast and just move. So there's 3 different things that we kind of try and hit on, in addition to the time domains. So you have to think about, or just ask your coach which one of those we're kind of going for on that. So, boom.
Cool. All right, number 3 from Stacy. She's hurting. So we all know that pain. How do I know if it's the kind of scenario where I can push past the pain, or if I should take a day off and take it easy? I think every athlete goes through this.
Everybody's gone through this at least recently. I mean, we're both hurting right now. There's a bug going through the gym, so everybody's been sick. So if we sound a little nasally and a little snotty today, we apologize. If I wipe my nose, I've been wiping my nose the entire time. But this is a different kind of hurting I think she's talking about. And it all depends on the pain, right? If we're talking about extreme pain from an injury, obviously you want to go to your doctor and get checked out right away. You don't want to push past, if you're having knee pain, if you're having shoulder pain, you should get it looked at. Don't ignore
a soreness and a shooting pain.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. If you're sore from a workout, you can push through that. The worst thing you can do is just sit still and just not work out. You're only going to get more sore from there. Getting up and moving around and getting those legs moving, if your legs are really sore from a lot of squats or heavy squat day, getting up and moving around is probably the best thing you can do. Sitting still and taking a day off is probably the most counterproductive thing you can do. If you hurt your shoulder doing a snatch, or your knees starting to really act up, or your IT band is starting to bother you, the best thing to do is probably look at spending time mobilizing if you don't have any serious injury and your doctor has cleared you to continue to exercise. There's a lot of things you can do through mobility. You can do some active recovery, like maybe just going for a walk, going for like a nice little bike ride, nice little jog or something like that if you're cleared to do so. Obviously, if you have a significant injury, then take time off, recover, let your body heal if it needs it. But for the most part, unless you're dealing with some serious injury, you can get away with some sort of workout. And the best part about CrossFit, which we talked about earlier here, is that it can be scaled in any way possible. So if your shoulder's bothering you a little bit and we're going overhead, find something else to do. We can scale the workout so you can still get a workout and continue to save whatever might be bothering you for later time, so we don't actually maybe some sort of overuse injury. We can spend some time mobilizing that, working on that overuse injury, and still get a workout in and not have to worry about aggravating that shoulder or that knee or whatever may be bothering you in the future.
Well, to expand on Stacy's question, what can you do to avoid so much hurting? Maybe.
There's a lot of things you need to do as far as recovery is concerned. If you're just constantly worn out or constantly sore after a workout, you may need to look at your nutrition or what you're doing immediately after you work out. One of the most important things is taking in at least some source of protein within 30 minutes of your workout. That's really going to help speed up that recovery, keep that soreness away, really make it so that you can come back the next day and perform pretty well, even if you went heavy the day before. It all depends what you did the day before, but if your nutrition's on and your post-workout is on, it usually can help you get through some of the tough days and get you to the gym the next day too.
And question number 4 from Brian Graves. He goes, what the hell is this, and how do I cook it? How do you even say it?
Okay, so we have this mystery vegetable.
What is it?
So, if you haven't, over the last few months, we actually had a vegetable share coming in from Lancaster Farm Fresh, and we had this mystery vegetable come in the box one time, and it's actually a kohlrabi.
Do you put it on a stick and roast it? Like, how do you make this?
Honestly, it's sort of like a potato, and treat it like a potato. One thing you can do is you can roast it in the oven for usually about an hour, and that'll soften it up, and then you can put some sort of spice on it, or like salt, pepper, something like that, and give it some flavor. One of the best things to do is actually cube it up, boil it, mash it, and then you can take some flavoring from there and actually turn it into a sort of a mashed potato. It's a really good source of fiber. It is very strange looking, but it's actually not that bad.
I don't trust it. And last but final question is from a good friend of mine, Kyle Dunbar. He asks, how much can you squat?
425, Kyle. Ashley?
Your mom. Yay!
All right, guys, so thanks again for joining us for episode 3 of Ask Ironborough. Keep the questions coming. We got tons of questions over the last couple weeks. We're going to keep answering them as quickly as we can. We really, really appreciate it. Use the hashtag Ask Ironborough, and we will continue to answer the questions. You keep asking, we'll keep answering. Keep it up. We love having you guys. Whatever you may be concerned about, whatever you may be having trouble figuring out, or just like to hear us talk, we are here for you. Keep asking, we'll keep answering. We'll see you on the next episode.